Alright, now that I've sold my truck, I went out and bought my daughter an ATV. Small ATV, 110. Yeah, it's a little big for her right now, but I'm going to turn it way down and she'll be able to ride it, of course, with a helmet. So this video is going to be putting it together. I've got our four-wheelers over here. They're both idling, getting them warmed up for later. So let's get the starter on this. 110, of course, made in China. You can pick these up from anywhere to $600 to $900. Let's go ahead. I've already taken the box off, so it'd be easier to do that. Comes in a crate. You can order them online, have them shipped to your house, or go to your local dealership. These are all over the place at your smaller bike shops, but this is how it comes crated up. Let's go ahead and blow this apart so we can see what we got here. Excuse my voice this morning. My nose decided to run and it doesn't want to stop. You'll need a 14 millimeter wrench. There's 4 corner bolts and then 2 side bolts that are all 14 millimeter. And then still got to figure out what that is to be able to pull that off of there. And that, which came off of right there on the handlebars, was a 6 millimeter Allen. So now we can take this whole piece. Now, careful to take these side straps and bend them out a little bit. That way you can lift it up and off of there. While you're taking this apart, these are just huge zip, like twisty ties. So undo your twisty ties, bring everything out. Be careful. I noticed this one has got a ring washer right there. And I believe that's going to have to go inside of the hub right here like that. So be careful not to lose any of that stuff while you're pulling all this apart. All right, we separated everything from the four-wheeler. And if you look at this, it looks a lot more like a four-wheeler. There's not a whole lot of parts when you buy them and you bring them in yourself. They're already pretty much put together. It's just the wheels, a box of hardware, which we're going to get into that next, your wheels again, and that's it. Once you lay the handlebars up on there, you pretty much know where those are going to go. The hardware for mounting those is going to be inside the box. So let's get into that box. All right, on the rear axle, you've got these over them like that. All it is a 10 millimeter bolt and a Phillips on top. These are just a little over hand tight, and you can pull those right out of there. I put the bolts and everything back in place because, I don't know, I may end up using all this hardware for something else. All right, let's get the front wheels on there. Now, I already took it off, but there's a castle nut, a washer, and a carter pin that goes through there. So pull the carter pin out first, undo your castle nut, and pull your washer off and set this aside. Now this is pretty much plain and simple. You've got a bearing and a drum on the inside, and then on the outside you've got that ring washer that I was talking about that goes in there. It's basically a spacer. So all we're going to do is we're going to lift it up, we're going to slide this on there and put it in place, and then we'll put a nut on it. One more thing I want you guys to notice, the front tires on these were on the wrong side. I had to flip them around. On the side of the tire, there's a directional arrow that shows which way the wheel should be spinning while it's going forward. So just swap that around to the other side, and then you can put it on there. All right, to get the front wheels on there, I actually took one of the back tires, and it actually cradles right there in between the front suspension to hold it up so that you can go ahead and put the front suspension on. Another key thing that I'm going to show you guys was what I did to get this wheel on there, because it didn't want to just slide on there on the other side. So what I did was I took this and I popped it off. That way I can just take it and push it into there and then slide it back on. Works out perfect for getting this on there. And then just make sure that this goes right back into place where it's supposed to go so it doesn't turn. And it'll just all go right back into place. Alright, once you get the nut on there and you get it nice and tight, line it up with the holes so that you can take this carter pin Get a focus on there. You can take this cotter pin and push it through. I always make sure that the long one is on the outside. That way I can bend this over. And you just bend it over so that it's out of the way. And then another thing I'll do is I'll actually take this like this, and then that way I can smash this in. I'll show you here in just a minute. Just like that. Just like that. See how it's bent in? That's because I take this and I put it right there like that, and I smash it in. That way it hugs it. That way there's nothing out here where anybody can walk by and scratch their legs on. So now your front wheels are on, and we'll move to the handlebars now. The reason I did this first is because if you put the handlebars on here, it's going to pull all those cables up. So I do it's going to pull them all up. I put the handlebars on second. Now, mind you, I've never done this before, so this is my first time. I'm just mechanically inclined, so I'm just kind of going through and kind of visually looking at which way I'm wanting to do it. So I'm going to go ahead and get the handlebars on there next, and then the rear wheels. Alright, so once I got the box open, there's a whole bunch of parts. These are in there. I should have opened the box first. These are dust caps that go over this. So make sure that you fold these down even further so that this can go over it. There's a little groove lip, and that hooks onto the washer. So just kind of give it a little bit of a twist and turn until it pops on there. It's kind of harder to do it on camera. I got the other one on there. Okay. So get that on there, just like that. And now your front wheel is assembled, and I almost fell backwards into the yard over the fence. Here's your handlebar mounts. So you're going to stick this up on there, and you're going to use those over it to mount it up on there. Alright, remember those parts I just showed you. Need some more light out here. One goes on the bottom, flat on top. The other one goes on top of the handlebar bar, and then the bolts go all the way through and bolt to that plate that's on there. That way you can adjust the handlebars whichever way your kid's arms are, and then just tighten those down. Try to get it centered. If you notice, there's a little bit of a grooved mark right there. Those have to go right inside on both sides so that it helps it from sliding too much. So we're going to go ahead and get those tightened down. I'm assuming it's also an 8mm Allen head. Alright, there's another plastic piece in there. All this does is it just goes right up on here like that, just to cover up the front. Whichever which way you want to get it on there. I just kind of stuck it on there. I guess you can put a light in front of that. And then if you have the gas can that has the vent, it would go through there, but this one doesn't have that. Underneath the back seat, you'll see a clip handle. Give that a pull, and you can unclip the seat. It'll just pull straight up and out, and then you can take the plastic off the seat when you're ready. Let's set that over there. In here, we've got a little battery compartment, and we've got our battery terminals. Red is positive, black is negative. And then we've got our little battery here. I'm going to pull that out of the packaging. And then up here on top, they've got it gelled. See, that's red and that's black. So that's how we're going to end up hooking them up. We're going to set it down in there after we get done. I just thought of that. So let's go ahead and pull the battery back out. And then these will just go right up on top of there with the bolts set in it. This is proving to be the hardest thing that I've done on here. You've got right inside here, if you see, there's an opening inside of it. So you got to take this and slide it inside underneath there, and then get it just right so that you can take this bolt. You're going to go through the hole, push it through the top and into this. The bolt is long enough to reach it while it's sitting flat, so you don't have to hold it, but hold it level inside there to get it to go in. Hardest thing so far on this whole freaking bike. Alright, after you get the battery connected and you get your little rubber covers back on there, on the front of the seat there's 2 hooks. You'll notice there's a bar that goes up and across right there. Those 2 hooks have to go underneath that bar. And then the clip for me was a little bit hard to get in there, so all I did was I just hit it on top with my hand and was able to get the clip to go underneath and hold it tight. The rear wheels, same problem I had with the front. They were actually on the wrong side. So look at the arrow on the side of the tire. If you notice, there's a groove there. This is going to have the same groove on the inside of the hub. So you're going to put that on there, and you're going to get those grooves to line up so it can slide through. And then we're going to put the washer, the cowsel nut, and the cotter pin back on there, and then we'll finish it off with a cap. I don't know if I mentioned it, but the front took a 22 millimeter socket right there. The back, I believe, is either a 23 or 24, but the closest thing I have to it is a 15/16, and it fits right on there. So that's the other tool that you're going to need to be able to get the cowsel nut on there. And then I'm going to tighten it up and put the cotter pin through there. And if you notice in the last shot, I didn't have the washer on there. I did pull the cowsel nut off, put the washer on. So now the back wheels are done, and it's looking like a 4-wheeler now. These are the basic tools that I needed. A wrench, a socket, which would have been basically a 24 and a 22. We got a 10 millimeter, 14 and a 13 millimeter socket, and an Allen 8 millimeter is all I needed to be able to assemble this little 4-wheeler. So now I just got to get it started, which we're going to go ahead and put some gas in it and see if we can get this little thing started right up. All right, I got it started. It's fairly easy. Uh-oh, Cody's here. Doo-doo. Guess we're gonna have a little more fun on this. This thing is freaking quick. I've got it turned way down, and it's still pretty dang fast. So watch your kids on this. Keep your kill switch. I've got a kill switch right here so that I can turn it off if I need to. So yeah, go build your guys' kids a 4-wheeler. Let them have fun with it. Safety first. Be careful, be cautious. There's a choke on the left side. If you push it all the way down, it opens it up and it'll start up, and then just keep easing it up to adjust it until it gets warmed up, and then it's almost all the way up. But this one still needs a little bit of choke to keep working. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Please rate, comment. Let me know if you guys have one for your kids and how they work, and anything that I might want to look out for on these of what might or might not happen. Stuff that breaks easy. All that kind of stuff. Please let me know. Again, thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Click that like button for buying your kids stuff. I mean, there's nothing like it but seeing their face. My daughter will get to see this next weekend when she comes over. I can't wait to show her. See you next time.